Hello and welcome back to the Late Night Veteran Show. Oh, hello and welcome back to the Late Night Veteran Show. We're on episode 68 and we have got a new host called Dave Hackett, but we'll come to him in a minute. I'm going to go through a few things I've got written down here, but a really good show tonight, guys. A new host, David Hackett. I'm going to let him introduce himself in a bit. We've also got Paul Hedley. I served with him in 3 UK DSR in the Signal Regiment. But we'll get to that. But just for now, I just want to give a shout out to. My phone's gonna. Sorry, guys. Oh, typical. I just want to give a shout out to Tina and Skinny. It's Tina's birthday, and we're going out tomorrow to celebrate her birthday. I said I'll give her a shout out. So here it is. Happy birthday, Tina. And I want to touch on and just show our respects from us, our team from the Late Night Veteran Show, the veteran that was killed, Daniel Coleman. So we just want to pay our respects to him. He was found in Cornwall in St. Austral. And also the soldier, Sergeant Alex Carney, was found dead in Tidworth as well. Just want to touch on the mental health side of this, that veterans there's a stigma out there, and veterans need to start speaking. They need to start talking, because more recently there's more veterans that are going missing, and I'm seeing it all the time, and I'm putting them out on our platforms to help them find and stuff, and it's quite sad, but there is a stigma. So if you go onto our website here, at the bottom of the page, the Late Night Veteran Show, have a look at our website. There's help and support there, guys. Don't be afraid. Get in touch. You know, no one's judging. If you've got drug problems, alcohol problems, mental health issues, please reach out. There's a guy that answers the phone 24 hours, so please get in touch with us. You know, even if you're a homeless veteran, get in touch with us. We've got contacts on our website that we can help you as well. So please, guys, reach out. Because it's quite sad to see all these veterans going missing, and it hits home for me. I was homeless. I've had drug and alcohol issues, so I know what it's like. So we're not going to judge you here. So please reach out. One more thing, I always do this as well every now and then. The HM Armed Forces Mod 90 card, veterans card. It's free. It's on the website. So if you go on the government website and type in the Mod 90 card, every veteran's entitled to one of them for free. And then there's the Veterans Rail card as well. I think that's like $19.99. That gets you 30 to 40% off on your trains. Just thought I'd touch base on that. And then if you look at our website, all the information for the breakfast clubs are on there, and the mental health services. Oh, that's gone off again. Sorry, guys. Sorry. So look on our website, it's got the mental health services. Reach out to us, all the breakfast clubs from all over the area. And now I'm going to pass you over to David Hackett. It's our new host. David, welcome to the Late Night Veteran Show, and we're so glad to have you as a host. David, introduce yourself and tell us your story.
Thank you. Yeah, so I'm Dave Hackett. I'm honoured to be here and honoured to be invited along to now be a host. My background, I was a Padsbrat, born and bred in Germany, in Rintown, so a military hospital. So I've been around the military my whole life, and then why not? I decided to join it straight after school at the age of 16. So I joined initially as logistics, because that's what my sister was in. My dad was also in the RCT. So as I went through my training in Basenborn, I was deployed to Germany at 2 Close Support Regiment. From there, I deployed on my first operational tour, which was Optelic, Iraq in 2003, which obviously that's where some of my dark history comes from. I then returned back from Iraq and decided driving's not for me. I transferred across then to the military police, where I spent most of my military career, again, in Germany as an RMP, and then deploying again out to Iraq on Telic 11. I then came back, went to ATL Winchester as a phase 1 instructor, which I absolutely loved. Then sort of went home, had some leave, and thought, you know what, I've never been a civilian. I was born in the military. I want to try civilian life out for a little bit. So on a whim, just signed off. All my mates were like, usual banter. They're like, nah, you'll never sign off. So just to prove a point, I'm like, right, sod ya. I'm going to stay signed off. And I struggled. I didn't have a plan, didn't have a job to go to. And I literally, I met my wife, ended up having a kid. A year and a half later, I rejoined because I missed everything about the military.
So you left and rejoined, did it?
Yeah. So I was only out for a year and a half.
Wow.
When I rejoined, I couldn't join back into my regiment because they weren't recruiting. So I had to go into something else. So I went AGC SPS. So did my phase 2 training again for that. Came back in a rank. However, something wasn't right. I was just a different person. I think fitness wise, I was probably the fittest I had been. So I got posted straight to 7 RHA in Colchester, where I went away, went on pre-para training, absolutely destroyed my legs. And then that was it. That was my downfall. I started going down from then because obviously I think I used fitness as a way to sort of get over my mental health issues, the PTSD, all the stuff that I sort of seen on operational tours in like the RLC, on Telic 1 and also in RMP. Fitness was my way out. I was massively into it. Triathlons, Ironmans, went on P company, got injured, and that was it. That's when my wife sort of said, look, there's something going on. I come near you, you move away. It's like, that's not normal. I think it took for her to sort of say to me, look, if you don't sort it out, I'm leaving. So from that point, I sort of went, right, and just broke down. And from there, I got the help, but I ended up getting medically discharged for post-traumatic stress disorder. I'm a lot better than I was. I mean, I'm into a full-time job, so I work in the government now. But I deal with like investigations of criminal activities. I do use medication, which I think helps for me. But I'm in the right place now, and I think I wished 14 years ago that I'd actually gone and talked to someone about it, because that's the worst thing that I did. I just bottled it up, and it just started getting fuller and fuller until it just burst.
Mm.
So yeah, that's the story.
So you served, what was it, 22 years in the military? So you joined the military, you left, you went back in, you got 22 years. How did you find adapting? I didn't serve as long as you, nowhere near as long as you, but how did you adapt to civilian life? How did you find that? How did your family find that? Was it a struggle? Was it easy? Or
so the first time I left, I really struggled because I sort of left, didn't have anything planned out. But then when I came back in, I sort of had a plan. When I was getting medically discharged, I looked at what jobs are available, what my skill set was, and then sort of looked there. We were quite lucky because at the time I was being medically discharged, they were building 4 houses on the barracks where I live. So we put an offer in for that, and somehow we managed to get accepted. So it's weird because it's like I've never left the military because I'm still on the patch, just in one of the 4 new built houses. Yeah. So it's like I've never left. But also the people that I work with are predominantly ex-para, ex-Marines. So it's still got that mentality. We just have to be very careful and mindful when we're talking in the office.
Yeah, of course. So you suffered your own mental health issues and you suffered your own PTSD. And you said that you bottled it up for a long, long time. But what's your advice to the veterans out there, or not just veterans, anyone, serving soldiers, veterans that are struggling with PTSD? What's your advice? You've been through it. You've served 22 years. Yeah. You've been through plenty of tours. What's your advice? What would you give? As you know, you bottled it up. What would the advice you would give?
So if you're feeling yourself getting angry, if like you're in, for me, things like the supermarkets, out just having a meal with the wife or the girlfriend or friends, and just noise as a reaction to you, and you're still hyper vigilant, things like that. It's, you might think it's normal, but actually it's normal on an operational tour. But when you return from a tour, you should be able to switch that off, which a lot of us, we don't. So if you're starting to feel that, or you're having recurring nightmares, dreams, certain smells, speak to someone about it, because just recognizing that, you're already a step ahead. And if you manage to speak to someone, even if it's a friend, it's relieving that pressure, because all you're doing by keeping it locked up is, it's like a gasket. As soon as it starts getting filled, at some point that pressure is going to release. Whether it's going to release slowly or with a big explosion, it needs to be released.
Yeah, 100%. Okay, then. Cheers for that, Dave. We'll come back to you in a minute. Paul, have you got any questions for Dave? Or...
No questions. I totally got it when, and very much related to the fact that you used fitness to almost escape reality, kind of thing. And I've very much done the same in the early stages of my journey into recovery. I mean, I'll talk more about that when it's my go to speak. But yeah, I hear you, mate, and I get it, and suffering an injury, especially if it takes away the thing that is your escape and your release, the thing that gives you that release, it must have been shit for you, bro. It must have been awful. So I feel your pain there, mate, and I totally get it, man. Totally get it.
I mean,
yeah,
I found a new sort of hobby in the end. It's not what I'm used to, but I ended up using fishing to sort of, as my release, as my mental sort of time. I ended up finding a guy who's ex RSM down in Colchester, RLC, and he set up his own charity. And from there, I think it's Phoenix Heroes, and they kit veterans out with fishing gear, and they literally they put on events for veterans to go out and just chew the fat and just have a good time, get some fish. And since I've joined that, it's helped me massively.
Did you say that was Phoenix Heroes?
Phoenix Heroes, yeah.
Yeah. So guys, whoever's watching, take a look at Phoenix Heroes. He's just told you what they're about. Sounds pretty good. Sounds pretty interesting. I think I'm going to put that on our website. So thanks, Dave. Paul, welcome to the Late Night Veteran Show. It's been years. We served together at Free UK, DSR, Signal Regiment, and it's been, for me, it's been incredible watching your journey, because I know where you've been and I know where you are now, and it's just such an inspiration. I really wanted you to get on the show. So, Paul, please tell us your story. I can't wait to hear it.
First of all, mate, thank you, and I appreciate your kind words. And yeah, I'm a very different man to the man I was. I'd forgotten, till we spoke yesterday. The army for me, right, it's always been this romanticized thing, how I lost this dream career that I was made for. But you kind of opened my eyes to something. I was a fucking arsehole, man. I was. I behaved awfully at times in the army.
You did.
So do you know what? I actually want to thank you for that, man, because I've never really got over losing that career. I've never got over it. That was the start of my downward spiral, because it was the only place I'd ever felt like me. Do you get it?
Yeah.
I've never felt like me anywhere, but in the army I felt like me. But now I look back, knowing what I know about who that person was, I don't want that to have been me. No. I thought I'd be 24-year man for sure. If I behaved that way for 24 years, I'd never have got rank. I'd have spent time in the glass house. I would have never got anywhere. I'd have probably ended up with alcohol addiction. I was savage. I was. So, but anyway, yeah. My point is, thank you for opening my eyes to how much of an idiot I kind of was at times. I mean, it was still one of the best times of my life, the army. I met my best friend there. It showed me a glimpse of what I could achieve if I was who I am now, then I'd have gone all the way. I'd have gone all the way. No doubt about it. But I wasn't.
Definitely now. Right now, you would have. Back then, not a chance, mate.
If I had this mindset that I've got, if I had the mindset then that I've got now, there would have been absolutely no stopping me. Yeah, absolutely no stopping me. But it didn't. It didn't. I wasn't that guy. I wanted to be desperately. My best friend was. You know, he took that path. No longer with us, sadly, and it fucking breaks me some days. It's very, very difficult. But again, another thing that my addiction took from me, I never got to see him again. So, but again, I'll get to that. Right. So, my life, the army, it was a drop in the ocean in comparison to the rest of it, but it was a very, very happy time. I mean, I was happy, you know, looking back, I was a dick, but I was happy. I was realizing my potential to a degree, but not fulfilling it. But I had ambition, you know. If you'd asked me where will you be in 10 years when I was in, I don't know, say Blandford, I'd have told you, I'd have mapped it all out. Would I have achieved it? Probably not, because I was an excessive drinker, but I would have told you this is what I'm going to do. So, I mean, prior to the army, I joined at 23. My life from 13 till 23 was ease, cannabis, promiscuous relationships, cocaine, excessive drinking, partying, no respect for my family, and just a pretty shitty guy in general. And my mum said to me, I'd never considered the army. And my mum one day said, I was homeless actually. I was living in Fox Street, which is a shelter in Preston. And she said, why don't you join the army? And it was just like a light bulb. And I said, you know what? I'm doing it. Stop the drugs, stopped everything. And I joined the army just like that. And it was one of the best times of my life. And this is just for me personally, phase 1 training. I mean, I've been through some shit in life since the army. Nothing is as I remember it. Phase 1 training was harder than anything else I've ever done. That every single day of being forced into discomfort and adversity, and you've no choice but to come through it and overcome it. It was brutal, but it was fucking brilliant. Yeah, it was brilliant. I loved it, man. I absolutely look like I'm on fire thinking about it now. Like if I could go back and do it again. Oh man, it was awesome. But I'm not, you know, I don't really want to talk about the army too much because that's not really. I mean, I know we're on the Late Night Veterans Show, and yes, I did the army, and yes, I spent time at a regiment, and yes, you know, I didn't go where I wanted to with it. It all came crashing down after a night on the cocaine. It was a one-off. I hadn't touched drugs since I've been in, and it was a stupid mistake, and it cost me my future and my career. But on the back of that mistake, sensible me decides, right, so before I actually get kicked out here, I've got a couple of weeks to line up someone as a supplier. I'm going to use what fucked my career to make me wealthy. Yeah, that's going to work, isn't it, mate? Well done, good idea. Yeah. So that rapidly failed. And long story short, it went from going well to going not so well to going terribly to a crack pipe. And the reason that happened is because I could not get my head around what I was going to do with my life. I could not see past what I'd lost. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
The army was it for me. I came out with my Class 1 license, but the idea to use it didn't even cross my mind because I wanted to be in the army still, and I couldn't accept that it was never going to happen again. I couldn't accept it, and I wouldn't accept it, and I just started using crack. Then I started using heroin as well. But it's a classic story, mate. You know, it went from.
How long did you start using until you left? Was it straight away when you got discharged?
Till I started using drugs or crack.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I started using drugs as soon as I got out. Like the day I got out, right. I met the guy that I'd linked up with and picked up some Charlie to sell. The very day I got out, I didn't even tell my family for months that I was out. Didn't even tell them. Let them think I was still in the army. I was full of guilt and shame, bro. I was full of guilt because they were proud of me. I never heard them, say, do you know what? We're really proud of you. I never heard that because I never gave them a reason to say it. The army was that reason. And I couldn't, much as I didn't want to put all that shame and crap onto them, I didn't want that. I didn't want them knowing for selfish reasons too. I didn't want to deal with, oh, he's messed it up again. Do you know what I mean? I didn't want to do it. So I was straight back on it straight away, and I'd say it probably took me 6 months before I was in real trouble financially with it, looking over my shoulder day in, day out, and that's where crack came in. But when I started smoking crack, it's the classic junkie story. I'll never smoke heroin, like I'll look down my nose at heroin addicts. I'll never smoke heroin. A couple of months past, I'm smoking heroin, but I'll never inject. And not me, never inject, not me. A few months later, and I'm injecting in my arms. Well, I'll never go in my groin. I injected in my groin. I injected in my neck. I injected in my arms. I injected in my. I injected anywhere I could get a vein. I was to the point where I would have to sit in a hot bath to even get my circulation going enough to get blood in the needle. I was awful, man. At my worst, I was 8 stone when I got admitted into hospital with blood clots in my lungs and septicemia. I was 8 stone. I was 50 kilos. 50 kilos, man.
Wow.
I mean, when we served together, I was about 13 and a half stone.
I was going to say about 13, 14 stone, yeah.
Imagine 5.5 stone off that.
Oh, mate. I saw a photo of you.
I've got a picture. You've seen it now. You've seen it.
Mate, your story's amazing because you should credit for saying this because it takes some balls to say it.
Well, do you know what? From the get-go, I've always said on my social media platforms that I will give it to you as it is, and that's everything. Like recently is a classic example, mate. I've been struggling since I left rehab. I've been drinking. Not to the point where it's become a problem, but to the point where people are telling me, look, I'm concerned about you. So although for me personally, I'm like, it ain't a problem. If it's a problem for people that care about me, then it's a fucking problem, and I need to get a grip on it, and I need to deal with this shit. But yeah, let me go back to where was I up to now? So I was injecting left, right, and centre in anywhere I could.
Yeah.
And then it was snowballs, cracking heroin in the same needle, and it just spiraled, mate. Like it went downhill so rapidly. I can't even tell you like how much of a blur most of that 7-year period is. Some horrific things happened in that time. I spent 6 years on the streets, 6 years straight, winter, summer in Blackpool. That's bad enough. I'm not going to go into too much. I'm not going to go into it because I don't need to, mate.
Do what you're comfortable with, mate. But do what you're comfortable with.
There's been horrific shit, man. Horrendous beatings. I've had savage beatings, mate, by numerous people when I've been locked in a gaff over a debt that I couldn't pay. Savagely done in for hours on end, bro. Broken wrist, carpal tunnel syndrome in the other hand, so I couldn't move my hands at all. I couldn't defend myself. But again, looking back, did I deserve it? I'd had him off. Maybe I did. I didn't deserve what I got, but maybe I did deserve something. But Blackpool was like it was the worst move I ever made, because that's where I went from someone who smoked crack here and there to someone that became a snowballer in the groin and the neck. And it sort of happened overnight. And Blackpool's also where I caught my first sentence for possession with intent to supply Class A. Which obviously, me being me, I tried to run from. So I left town before I got a court date. I got bailed, left the town. First train out of Blackpool was going to Manchester, so I got on it and I thought, this isn't far enough. This is not far enough. So I got the first train I saw out of Manchester, which was going to, I can't remember the final destination, but I got off it in Reading. I thought, I've pushed it far enough here. I've no ticket. I need to get off this train before I get caught. Didn't know a soul in Reading. Two people were on the train with me that left Blackpool with me, but they had their own plans. We parted ways then. But again, as soon as I hit Reading, within a week, I'd managed to get on side with one of these people and start selling for him. So I'm wanted for possession with intent to supply Class A, and I'm still doing it. Idiots. But yeah, I got my sentence, my first sentence. It's only 2.5 years, and I did like a year of it, but it wasn't long enough to make me fix up. Do you know what I mean? It wasn't long enough to stop missing it. Like, I thought, I'm going to be out in a year or less on tag. I think I got out after 8 months or something on tag, and I just couldn't wait to have a pipe. That's how bad I was, man.
So you went inside and came out, and it wasn't long enough. You just
as soon as I got out, mate, I was in a hostel, a bass house they call them. The first guy I met says, "Do you smoke white?" I was like, "Fuck yeah, give me a pipe." And I'm laughing, because I'm laughing at myself at how I was.
I know. Compared to what you are now, so I know.
It's not. It's not funny. I'm not saying it's funny. It really isn't funny. It's disturbing how
you're reflecting, aren't you? Going, wow.
Yeah, like this is it. But then, I managed to stay out for 3 months, but that whole time I was selling again. So the door went through and I got caught with the main phone. No drugs, no money, but the phone, and they got me 3.5 years. That was like the eureka moment. That was when I was like, right, I've got a good fucking 18 months away here. This is either make it or if I don't leave a better person than the guy that came in, then potentially next time I'm looking at 7, and I'm not interested in doing 7 years. I'm just not. So luckily, well, it's not luckily. In fact, it's not luckily. It was fate. What happened was I was in Bullingdon, which is in Oxford prison, Cat B, remand, and when I got sentenced, about 2 weeks later, I got shipped out to a CCAT in Wolverhampton. Never been there before. I'd never been to a CCAT because I'd never got longer than 2 years to serve. So this time, when I got to Wolverhampton, as I'm walking onto the wing for the first time, to my first proper wing, everything in me was like the junkies in my head and my heart were still my people. So I'm walking towards who are clearly the junkies on the wing, and I had this moment, and it was like, if you do this, if you go with this choice now, then say goodbye to the next 20 years of your life. If you last that long, it was like this clear, for the first time in a long time, I had this clarity of, I actually have a choice. I didn't feel I had a choice for so long. And in this moment, I had a choice. And it was either I go behind my door and I just settle in and keep myself to myself, or I go to my people and then they remain my people for the whole sentence. And I chose to go behind the door. I didn't associate with anyone for a couple of weeks. I kept my head down. I didn't smoke no spice. I just stayed away from everyone. I was clearly a junkie, like the new guy on the wing. Everyone knows, there's a new guy on the wing. That's fucking weigh him up. Have a look. I was clearly a junkie, but people started to see that maybe this guy actually isn't. Maybe he's trying to change his life. And I got good support in there. The people that you would want in your corner, should we say, they were in my corner. And people started chatting to me and saying, you know what, fair play to you, you want to change your life. And they started getting about me a bit. And after a while, I decided, you know what, I need to get off methadone. I need to get out of prison and be clean, because if I'm not actually clean, if I'm still on meth, then I'm going to the chemist every day when I get out, and I'm in that queue with the junkies, and everything in me was trying to disassociate from being that person. I did not want to leave prison believing that my identity is I am a junkie, because if I did that, then what hope did I have? So I got off methadone in prison, did my detox, hit the gym. I just started trying to fix my life up, and my drug worker Haley, shout out to Haley, by the way, an awesome lady, man. She was the person who believed in me when I didn't believe in myself. She was like the massive catalyst to me getting to where I am today. And she's been consistent in my journey the whole time. You'll have seen her commenting on stuff on my Facebook and liking stuff. She's great, man. She actually, I mentioned to you that I've got this job. She actually went in on my behalf, phoned in on my behalf. The cut-off date had closed. I wasn't aware of the job, and she's phoned them and said, look, I've got the guy for this job. I've got the guy. Will you see him? Wow. I know the cut-off date's gone, but will you see him? So they emailed me and they said, tell us a bit about yourself. Sent them an email back and they said, right, impressed with your email. We want to offer you an interview. So yeah, everything's worked out in that sense. But getting out of prison was a big thing for me. I went into a rehab in Stoke. Never stepped foot in Stoke in my life. I got out 26th of January last year, clean off methadone, and I went to a Christian rehab. Haley tried to get me to go for weeks and weeks and weeks on end. And that word Christian, something about it, I was just like, I'm not doing it. It's not me. I'm not doing it. Maybe I didn't feel worthy of that kind of love and support, just like, if you get what I mean. But I went for it in the end. She kept banging on my door every day. You need to do it. You need to do it. I said, if it's going to make you leave me alone, Haley, then just sign me up. Just go away. Just sign me up. Give me some peace. And I did, and I've never looked back. But in itself, rehab's not easy either, man. Rehab's not easy. The concept's very, very easy. It's very, very simple indeed. Very, very simple. What's not easy is the people that you have to be around. You've no choice. You have to be around these people day in, day out. And the way I went about my journey was very, very individual. I didn't want to be around people. I wanted to do my training. I wanted to hit the treadmill. I wanted to eat clean. And I wanted to become fit, strong, healthy, decent size, and feel good about myself again. And no one got it. No one got it. In fact, that's a lie. That's a lie. One of my best friends, Lee, he got it. He really got it because he was very much the same. But he could balance everything. He could be that guy on that journey and still get involved with the lads, still be supportive, still, do you know what I mean? I couldn't handle all that. I had to just go all in on the journey I was on. But I don't regret it because it's got me to where I am. Without the discipline I forged on that journey and on that treadmill and on them park runs and on that weight bench and on that squat rack, I would never, ever, ever have survived in this job I've been doing. I wouldn't. I'd have quit. I'd have said, fuck this. This isn't me. I'm not doing this. You pay me £200 a day. I'm not doing it. But I thought, no, I'm better than that. I can do it and I'm going to do it until something better comes. So it's been a lot of ups, a lot of downs, and a lot of challenges, and especially there's a lot of challenges all in one fucking week period the other week. I mentioned Max. I think you knew him from Blandford.
I did, yeah.
I'm not going to say his surname, but Max, absolute fucking just yeah. I can't really talk about him, man, because it's gonna make my head go. But
good old lad.
So his 2-year anniversary of his passing came the week after that. Me and someone I thought I had a potential future with came to an end. And the same week as well, I saw my dad for the first time in 6 years. And I had shit going on at work. Like I was clashing with this guy. We were clashing, and it was like it's gonna come to it. It's gonna come to it because he wasn't backing down and I wasn't backing down. He wasn't wrong, but neither was I. You know. But
you're gonna have your ups and downs, mate.
I have had my ups and downs, but do you know what?
You've come out the other side, mate. You've come out the other side. How long have you been clean now?
Clean off crack and heroin, well, substances apart from alcohol now, 3.5 years.
Wow, mate, come on.
I've only been off methadone since last August.
You say you don't regret anything. I wouldn't either because it's made you who you are, yeah? And seeing you from the army, right, you were crazy, mate. Not going to lie. Absolutely bonkers to recently getting in contact with you and following your story and listening to you, mate. You've come out the other side. You should be proud of yourself. And generally, you should be proud of yourself. And you can use these skills to help others, mate. And I couldn't wait to have you on the show. Yeah. Because everybody gets a chance.
And do you know what I haven't even mentioned as well yet? My son, mate. My son, Blake, he's 14 now. He's 14, you know, he messages me, right? And even if it's just a message to say, Dad, have you got some cash, please? I fucking love it. It's brilliant. Yes, of course I have. What do you need? To be able to say, of course I have, son, how much do you need? There's no feeling like that for me. Yeah. But even if I had cash at one point, I would have said, I'm skint. I would have, because it was all going on gear. Yeah. So now I don't even think, do I need this money? I just think he needs it. It's not about do I need it, he needs it. I'm taking him to Thorpe Park next month. You know, I've seen him 3 times now. I didn't see him for 11 years. I've seen him 3 times in the last year. So it's everything comes together, man. Everything comes together.
Rewarding, mate. It's rewarding. You've worked hard for it.
You've just got to get through the hard shit, and you've got to bin off your excuses. You know, I'm the first to admit, I bought into my own bullshit this last few weeks. I slipped into a victim mindset. Poor me. Why me? Why this? Why that? Fuck off, mate. Why not you? Why not you? Why not me? Yeah, why not me? Give me more. Bring more shit my way. Do you know what I mean? Pile it on. Pile it the fuck on.
Now you've got to up here, Paul.
That's it. It's back, mate. I mean, this is who I was, and I can't believe that I became who I became for those 2 weeks. Over what? A fucking relationship, you know, and you know, the loss of a friend. Yeah, okay, but that shouldn't make me go and use drink, because what would he do? I've got a hashtag. What would Max do? What would he do? He'd say, "Fix up, you hat. Fix up." Yeah. What are you doing with yourself? What are you doing? You wouldn't be doing that if I was stood in front of you, would you? I mean, well, actually, no, I wouldn't, mate. No. You know. So
I love that you've shared your story, and you've gone from being at the rock bottom, and you've got your mindset in the right place now, and you've built yourself back up, and I absolutely love that.
Thank you, mate. Appreciate that.
I've been following his journey, Dave, right? And it's incredible, because he used to lie all the time. He's told you anyway, unless he was mad. He was drinking all the time, kicking people's doors in the blocks. But seeing his story and following him, talking to him, like, it's a completely different person. He's got his family back in his life. He's got his children back in his life. He's done 3.5 years, like, and he should be proud of what he's achieved. And he's using what he's been through and taking a job to go back and help others. So you've been pulled out the pit to go back and help others, mate. So you should be proud of yourself.
That's how I see it, mate. That's how I see it. And I am proud of myself, and I appreciate it. And I'm grateful that you've had me on, mate. I'm grateful. I love sharing my story. I do, and it's painful, and it's, you know, and you know, afterwards, sometimes I think, shit, should I have said this? Should I have said that? But like I said, it's real. And if it makes anyone uncomfortable, I apologize, but it's real, and I'm not gonna hide any of this, because the power is in the truth. And it's in the real shit. And who I am now is a product of all this shit that I've been through. So, you know, whoever out there is going through shit, you can change your life. You can change your life. I am fucking living proof that you can. You can also fuck your life up again, but don't. Just listen to the people that are around you. And when people give a shit and really care, they'll tell you, and they'll tell you in appropriate ways, and they won't tell you to be a dick. They'll tell you that, listen, I'm concerned. Are you okay? And when you get messages like that, really, really read them. Don't dismiss them, and think, do you know what? Am I actually okay here? That's what I did. And I realized, you know what? I'm not. I'm fucking crying for help, but I'm not physically crying for help, but inside I am crying for help. You know, shout out to the few people that messaged me though as well. Yeah, I appreciate all of you, man.
I think when you go through like this, you find out who your real friends are as well. Because some people, I had a similar thing with my PTSD. As soon as I left, a lot of people lost contact with me. Yeah. But the odd person stayed in contact, and that's when you know who your true friends are. And that's what you need. You need that one person or them two people just to check in now and then.
That's it. And it makes such a massive difference, you know. Some of the people some of those people in my life are people that, you know, one of them in particular, I haven't seen her physically since primary school, since I was like 10 years old or something. I think she was in the year above me. And she's just been such a massive part of my journey. She's helped me get back into my running, and all sorts between when I first started talking to her and now. But recently, she was like one of the people that was like, yeah, you are not yourself. You know, what's going on? And it's having those people. It's so important, like you said. It is so important. But you have to listen to them. You have to listen to them. And it's the people that will tell you when you're being a dick, and they'll tell you, say, right, tell me what's going on. You'll tell them what's going on. And they say, do you know what? It's actually you. You're the problem here. They're the people that matter more than anyone. You can't have enough of those people around you, man.
Yeah. I just want to touch base here, right? Paul, your story is inspiring. It really is. And Dave, so Dave, you suffered with PTSD. Yeah, you were at your lowest point. Yeah, I'm touching on this. And Paul, you had a drug addiction. You were at your lowest point. You could tell the people that are watching that it does get better, because I've been there. When you're at your lowest point, breaking point, you've lost everybody around you, your family and friends and all this. It does get better, guys, doesn't it? There is a way out the other side.
100%. 100%. If you want it bad enough, and you're willing to sacrifice what you want now for what you want in the long run, that's all it is. It's saying, maybe I do want to go and have a drink, or maybe I do want to go and sniff a line or smoke a pipe, but what do I want more? Do I want that right now, or do I want to be successful and living a good life in 5 to 10 years? What's more important to me? And if it's more important to you to go and smoke or whatever, fair enough, I respect your decision, but it's more important to me to live the life that I was put here to live.
Absolutely, and you'll find that you're being rewarded now, Paul, because I love what you said about your son messaging you for money, and you're like, yeah, that's the way you said it was you could see your face light up, and you got your family back. It's rewarding, and it does get better. Absolutely. It does get better. So, I'm glad you come on the show, guys. If any of you want to talk about anything else, we've got 20 minutes left, but we can end the show early. I know it's only our first one. I didn't really prep much for it, but Dave, have you got anything to say?
Obviously, I've turned my PTSD around into now similar to yourself, trying to help other people out. So, like, I will now every day I'll post a daily thought, and it'll be something motivational or something about veterans, PTSD, and actually looking about when you see someone stood there on Remembrance Parade or on Armed Forces Day with a rack of medals, that actually you don't realise what's behind that. That a lot of them go to the war, they come back, but they also bring the war back with them. And a lot of people don't see that. So actually, when you speak to a veteran, ask them, just talk to them, ask them how they are, what's on their mind. And you'll never know what actually they might talk about, because sometimes you just need that invitation.
Absolutely, yeah, I agree. Yeah, it's same with I noticed a homeless veteran in Bath. He's homeless, and I went, and he was too proud to take money or whatever, blah blah blah. So what I found is I'd go up, I'd leave some food there in a bag, and I'd leave it there. And the next time I'd come, I'd put my name on it, and he started reaching out to me then. Because before he didn't want me to speak to him, didn't want me to get involved. He was too proud and that. But I found if you put some food down for him there or leave your name on, eventually he'll come out and he'll start talking. And he did. He came out talking, and then we give him some help and stuff like that. But yeah, absolutely brilliant. Anything else, guys?
Yeah, I think when obviously you reached out to me or to the community asking for hosts, and when I sort of looked up about this, absolutely love the idea that came up with, speaking to veterans, sharing their stories and getting people out there. Because just by doing this, by sharing your story, by sharing my story, someone might be in that same situation and actually go, hang on a sec, if they're where they are now, I can be there.
100%. Yeah, definitely. That's why I set it up, because I was lost. I had an addiction as well. I was really lost, and veterans are too proud, aren't they? Some veterans are too proud to reach out. So I thought, by doing this, we can give veterans a platform to share their stories, and they can reach out and get help and support, and we can guide them in the right direction. And it's gone really well. Last season went really, really well. This one, I'm really looking forward to this series with working with you, David. New host is brilliant. We've got ambassadors out there. We've got an admin team now. We are going to have monthly meetings, and it's only going to get bigger and better. This is only our first show together, Dave, and I think this first show has been is kicked it right off, because your story and his story has been phenomenal. Sometimes the show go a bit like unsteady and stuff. This show's been absolutely brilliant. I've really enjoyed it.
I've enjoyed being on it, man.
Yeah. So, anything else, guys, before I end the show?
No, mate, I'm good personally. No. I want to just thank you for the opportunity, mate. Because if what I've said helps even one person, then it's job well done, isn't it? Yeah,
of course it is. Because as soon as I end this show now, I'm going to go off. I'm going to share it and everything. next time I will make it. Now, I didn't, to be honest, I didn't really plan for this show because I was setting up the stream yard, setting up.
Well, that's the best way, though. Sometimes, mate, that's the best way, because when it's planned, it doesn't always go to plan. Sometimes
it never does, mate.
The best podcasts are just let's see how it goes. And yeah, it might be 10, 15 minutes short, but you know, it is what it is.
I always said 45 minutes to an hour. 45 minutes to an hour. But I have got a theme tune. I just want to give a shout out to the guy, Ron Donner. He sang a song. He wrote a song and sang it for us for our theme tune for the Late Night Veteran Show. And I'm trying to play it at the start of the show, which I'll get it done for next week. And then when the show ends, end it. But every song we use, we kept getting done for copyright on YouTube. Copyright. So he sang it. I put it in the group, haven't I, Dave? He sang it and written it for us and allowed us to use it, which is incredible. So I want to thank him for that. So, guys, this is the Late Night Veteran Show, episode 68. I'm going to give you one last time to say goodbye to Paul. Paul, thank you for your story. It's been absolutely incredible. Any last words?
Thank you for having me, guys. Keep your head up. Keep your head up. Keep grinding and stay hungry.
Brilliant. And Dave, I can't wait to continue working with you as a host. This has been a phenomenal first show. I'm well impressed. I'm not going to lie, we've winged it, and it's been interesting all the way through. So, Dave, any last words, mate?
There is a message. So I think there might be some messages on YouTube, but it hasn't come up.
Oh, it hasn't come up on here.
Craig Burns.
Yeah.
Let's have a look, see what this put. How old is this guy? Which one?
Yeah, I know. Craig used to comment before. Yeah, he's always tunes in. Yeah. So there we go, guys. We'll end the show there then. Your host Dave Hackett, Paul Hedley, former Royal Signals. This show was touched on mental health. I'm your host, Darren Edmondson. This is the Late Night Veteran Show, guys. See you soon.
Thank you. See you later.